DSS abandons case after filing bogus charges against 5 activists arrested at Dunamis Church. The DSS has abandoned the case involving 5 activists illegally arrested on July 4th, 2021 at Dunamis International Gospel Center, Abuja, for wearing #Buhari Must Go t-shirts. The activists were arraigned on July 28th before a magistrate's court sitting in Mpape, Abuja, on 5 counts bordering on conspiracy to disturb public peace, an offense, it was said, contrary to Section 96 of the Penal Code law. The defendant pleaded not guilty to the offense. The Chief Magistrate, Mohammed Zubairu, after he had listened to the defense and prosecution counsel, admitted the activists to bail in the sum of 500,000 naira each, and with one surety in like sum who must submit their national identity cards to the court. The sureties must be residents within the jurisdiction of the court. Surprisingly, the resumed hearing of the case on Monday at Wuse Magistrate Court following the transfer of the case. DSS lawyer 102 was conspicuously absent in court. The lawyer defending the activist, Tokpet Temokun, asked the court to strike out the case for lack of diligent prosecution. Temokun said, "We applied that the charge is struck out based on the fact that when you bring somebody to court, it is not convenient, and if that person voluntarily goes to court, you have a case against the person does not. You that have a case against the person does not show up in court. We are not aware that the matter will take place here at Wuse Magistrate Court, but we are still here because we are diligent enough to be at the Magistrate Court and Pape. So if the prosecution was there, that means we would be here together. It is not about whether you have notice or not. We did not have notice too, but they are not here. We applied that the charge be struck out, but the magistrate said he is going to give an adjournment at the instance of complaint." The activists, namely Ben Manasseh, Emmanuel Larry, Victor Doka Anene, a blind saxophonist, Simon Gabriel Inwatunaye, and Henry Nwodo, spent 30 days in illegal detention and were denied access to their families and lawyers. They were finally released from DSS custody on August 3rd. Justice Samuel Chikere of the Federal High Court had on July 26th, while ruling on the ex parte motion filed by the activists, ordered the DSS to immediately release the activists from detention, but the order was disobeyed as the DSS hurriedly filed trumped-up charges against the magistrate court. The matter has been adjourned to September 20th, 2021 for hearing. Again, okay, cool. I mean, let's be honest, it's not even like as if these cases are taken seriously anyway. Well, on the side of the government, for sure, because imagine not showing up to a case that, is like the height of disrespect. But then this also goes into like the DSS just doing what they want. I mean, over what? From all cases, look at Sunday Igboho, look at Nnamdi Kanu, look at the 3 Israeli document guys, the 3 Israeli guys for a documentary in Southeast. Look at there are just so many other cases where the DSS has done so many things, have not been held responsible, and have never been like forced or like they just have the audacity not to go through with certain processes and finish cycles, and then we end up postponing and and coming back to cases, and it just doesn't make sense because like the DSS can do what they want. I mean, the DSS literally flouts court orders. We don't even know who has the more power, is it the DSS or the courts, because they've flouted so many court orders. So at this point, it's safe to say that the DSS, they're literally in their own lane, they're literally in their own world, because right now they 100% feel like they're untouchable. And really and truly, with the situation of the country currently, they are untouchable, because you suing them or trying to get justice with them, you're wasting your time. You are actually wasting your time, not in a rude way, but it's just the truth. And it's sad. It's like, why would we just abandon a case? It's just not it at all. And unfortunately, they themselves, the activists and their lawyers, they can't just decide, you know what, let's not take it seriously, because it will backfire on them, because it's like, why are you not finishing a cycle? You started this and all that, like, it will backfire on them. So they have to continue and follow protocol, even though nothing is getting reciprocated, but make sure that just to make sure that they followed the due process and other procedures, so then nothing will be heard against them when it's when the time comes, or if the time comes. Somebody here says DSS are just losing in court. Stop regarding those kidnappers at DSS. They are political dogs who are good in kidnapping, maltreating innocent Nigerians. You mean the terrorist group called DSS? I don't even know what the DSS is again. They are perfectly rebranding themselves, and there's going to be a whole protest. Hashtag end DSS. It is definitely coming, because the exertion of power and confidence and, well, ill-gotten confidence. I don't know. It's not really. There's literally no ground or justification for how confident they are, but they have the confidence. So yeah, this is what it is. Someone says quasi-terrorist organization called the DSS. Somebody else says, leave them with their coconut head. How many bandits or Boko Haram boys have they charged to court? End DSS now. See, I literally just said, someone just said end DSS now. It's gonna become a whole protest. I just go through a lot. And Nigerians should even sue the Nigerian state for the trauma and everything that the state has caused towards Nigerians, because it's just absolutely unfair what Nigerians have to go through. It just doesn't make sense. And it's like, then you don't blame why Nigerians are just like, what's the point fighting for this country? Everyone is literally trying to be on their own. The country forces you to be selfish, in which you will have to be selfish, and sort out everything. Sort out everything. All of them are non-entities. The allegations delivered against them are baseless. The fire is too much, right? Of course it's too much. Of course it's too much. But it's just so chaotic right now in the Nigerian political space. With obviously with these agitators being held, with this case, which I thought would like forget, but it's still relevant, and I guess if people want justice, and as they should, they just have to understand what they're up against. As well as what else? A lot of things just happening with Buhari's son's wedding, with the PIB, the Petroleum Industry Bill, with what else? With bandits trying to be integrated in society. A lot of things are just happening, and it's just so spread out. Like, it's so spread out, but then it's so related but yet unrelated. Nigeria is just a confused, it's a confused madhouse, honestly. But what I think, I don't forget to like and subscribe.